We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next. Today on an all-new Daily Helpline, let's welcome Tatyana Ali.
I want love. Yes. I want that good, like, soulmate love. Like,
Virginia, she needs help. We're supposed to be there for her.
To see that is very overwhelming.
I believe it's a perfect man that you're looking for.
You think he exists?
He does not exist.
Amen.
Oh, no.
Like giving them the stink eye.
What does the stink eye look like? I want to see your stink eye. Oh, okay.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Helpline. I'm Miles Edcox.
And I'm Spirit. And on today's show, you are going to meet a young woman who escaped an underage sex ring. But first, we'd like to introduce you to a very special guest who's joining us today to share details about her personal journey that you've probably never heard. We all remember her from the iconic sitcom, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and now she is all grown up. Let's welcome Tatyana Ali. Thanks so much for being here. Of course. So, you know, when you came in this morning, I have to tell you, and I told Miles, I said, listen, I am so excited that you are coming in because for so many of us who had the opportunity to grow up with you, you have been like the backdrop to so many of our greatest memories growing up as a child. Wow. And I thank you. I don't want to just hold you hostage to being Aschleigh, but that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was everything for me growing up.
Thank you.
Wasn't that for you?
That's so
real. That was yes.
That's really sweet.
But like we said, you are all grown up now.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Isn't she all grown? Look, the men were like,
it happens.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know, I think it's interesting that you had such a huge acting career when you were really young, and yet you kind of walked from that and chose to pursue your education.
Yeah.
And then come back. And so tell us about that transition.
It's been, that transition was interesting. It was completely different from what I expected it would be. Really? I always wanted to go to college. I always wanted to go to an Ivy League school. That was just my dream as a little girl. I just saw it, you know, Princeton or Yale. I ended up going to Harvard, and nothing was going to keep me back from doing it. When I came back, and I consciously made the choice, yeah, I'm an artist. I want to act. I want to be on stage. This is what I truly love. It was hard. I had to start over in a lot of ways, which I think happens to child actors anyway, because you do tend to get pigeonholed into a role that you played. But yeah, I had to, there was definitely some struggle and some moments of, some serious moments of, did I do the right thing by going to school? Wow. Is that wrong to educate yourself?
We're so excited that you're here today. We're going to help a lot of people. So I'm super excited about this. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready to go.
Are you guys ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Okay, so now that we have Tatyana along with us, I want to introduce you to our first guest. I want you to meet Aschleigh, who's a 37-year-old woman who fears that she's running out of time to have the family that she's always dreamed of. Please let's welcome Aschleigh to the show. We're going to come right over here. Thank you so much for being here, pretty lady.
Thank you.
So, the clock is ticking. We're running out of time. What's going on?
Well, I would love to be in a great relationship. I would love to find the right person and have kids in my 30s, ideally. And I'm just kind of fatigued. I'm a little dated out. Oh. So I'm wondering, you know, should I keep holding out for the really right one, or I've dated some really decent, nice guys. Should I kind of settle and try to figure out how to make a family work, or should I just keep dating, hoping for the one?
I know there are so many women sitting at home going, yes, what is the answer? Oh, you can relate too, huh?
I can absolutely relate.
Oh,
I'm in my 30s and I don't have children. I'm dating. I would love to have a family. And that's a question I ask myself all the time. My friends, I have friends who are freezing their eggs just to give themselves a little bit more time, but that's very costly.
Yeah, it is.
It's really expensive. Yeah. It's like $10,000, $15,000. It's an incredibly expensive thing to give yourself a few more years of choice.
So what do you think? I mean, settling for Mr. Right now or holding out for Mr. Right?
I want love.
Yes.
I want that good, like, soulmate love. I can't.
So are you in a relationship now?
I'm not. I'm dating. I've dated recently a pretty nice guy. He's a little bit older, but the spark isn't really there, so it's like it's hard to think of going forward. I love being in love, so it's like I'm pretty sure I'm not going to settle. Because it's like a great relationship. I would just figure it out. I would adopt. I'll just
This
kids
is a
are
common
later.
thing when I hear you say I love being in love and I'm not going to settle. Does that also mean that I'm not going to commit?
I don't want to commit to someone that's not worth it. So I mean, that might come off as commitment phobic, but it's just, I mean.
Well, let's bring the family conversation back into the mix, because I think it's important to know for us, how important is that to you? Because I know when you talked to us before, it was like, I really feel like this is something I want to do.
Well, okay, so I probably have some baggage from my mother's divorces. And so I would rather err on the side of kind of not having kids and like not put people through that and still be in a great relationship. If I found the right guy and he didn't ever want kids, I would deal with that more than trying to settle for someone that is decent but loves kids. And I date guys that have kids. So I'm afraid of doing things wrong. And I'd rather be with the right guy that I really trust and can commit to for life, and then from there kind of work out the details.
Oh, can I come in here? Because I'm just like, all the bells are going off for me. And as soon as you started to explain yourself, all of a sudden I said, that is why she can't meet the right guy. You know why? Because you're all over the place in your own head. You're like, okay, I'm not really committed to having kids, but my biological clock is ticking. My mother had a lot of divorces with an S, and I don't want to do that, but I want the right now guy. Okay, I don't want this, but I do want this. You're all over the place. And you can only radiate what's happening within. So until you're clear about what it is that you want and where you are, you're never going to attract the right person for you, because there is no right person right now. Every person that comes into your life, you're like, oh, I'm measuring you up against this, and I'm measuring you up against this, and but I'm never seeing you, because I'm so busy working out all of my own stuff that I can't figure out where you are and how you line up with me, because I don't even know how I line up with myself.
That's true, I'm sure. I mean, I have a lot of me to figure out.
So let's take the baggage away.
Sure.
That you said you're bringing in from the multiple divorces from your mother. Let's take the fear away. Let's not take it away because it's not going anywhere. Let's just set it right here. Here's fear, here's baggage, just you. Just you. What do you want? Do you want a family?
I want the right guy. And then what happens after that, ideally, is at least one child.
Okay, let's try it one more time.
Sure.
So we're going to keep lining them up over here. We got baggage, we got fear, now we're going to add the right guy.
Okay.
All of them over here. Now we're just with you. Do you want a family?
Yes, I do.
Now we're getting somewhere. Because I believe that's what you wanted to know when you got on here. I just think you're kind of scared of that question. Because you've seen it done wrong so many times. The idea that if the perfect man doesn't show up in front of me, it will all be wrong again and we'll mess it up. And that was painful. Was that painful to live?
Yeah, I lived through it a couple times, actually, with my mother, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So for me, it is exactly what Spirit was saying. It's getting clear on who you are and what you want. I do think that you need to clarify. If you know, okay, so I know I want a family. Now you can come over here and look at all these things. So that's what we've just decided. So if anything you take away today, it's, I want a family.
I do.
Now what do I need to do to get there? You got to turn and face these things. Because you got to take a look at fear. You got to take a look at this baggage. And then you also got to take a look at this perfect man. I believe it's a perfect man that you're looking for.
You think he exists?
He does not exist.
Amen. Amen.
Oh, no.
No such thing. There is no such thing. But there's no such thing as the perfect woman either, and that's okay. And even in that, the other part of that you have to know, that piece of baggage, one big piece that you have to let go of, is that you have to come to the realization that I am not my mother. You have to put down the bags of her divorce because none of those were you. Your baggage is yours that you create. That was hers. Stop carrying around her bags. and find your own relationship and live your own life?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I've consciously tried to avoid that, and that's why I'm not married at 37. I didn't want to be a person necessarily that had had a couple marriages under my belt by 37. I think that I'm better off, but I'm happy that I didn't repeat that past. And now I'm at a better place in my life than I've ever been in terms of dating as a whole human being. I'm totally sure that's the idea, is like 2 whole people. I'm way closer to that than I've ever been.
2 whole people that I'm not using anybody else's sticks to measure myself. Put that down. Don't be Erykah Badu's bag, lady. Let it go, okay? Let it go. You're all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aschleigh. We'll be right back after this.
Coming up.
If my own family can't do that for me, how can someone else do it for me?
What are you feeling right now?
That I'm not proud of myself.
Monday on an all-new Daily Helpline, it's Brandy.
This is a very hard topic for me to talk about. The things that I had to go through growing up in the public eye wasn't sweet all the time.
We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next.